So, today is August the 7th, 2026, and events are starting to unfold rapidly. Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying right now. Everybody, we're not thinking straight, and I'm going to tell you why. Is because, the Schumann resonance, the Earth is vibrating at a much higher frequency right now, and our bodies are not, templed up, right? We are moving in that direction, but we're kind of lightheaded, we're a little dizzy, we're doing stupid things maybe, we got ringing in the ear, right? The Earth is vibrating, and your body is basically trying to catch up. Yes, I know we need the Clarity Act passed. Apparently the Clarity Act was passed in Russia, which is putting a lot of pressure on the United States now, because now that they've got their, Putin has passed his Clarity Act, and they're running oil and selling oil. The Saudis are selling their oil because their Clarity Act is passed. But, it's a double-edged sword for the Democrats, because if they don't vote for it, they're going to be ostracized for that. And if they do vote for it, of course, that's going against the whole communistic plan that, what their agenda is trying to do. They don't want it passed because the Clarity Act is, number one, it's going to expose them. So they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. They've been locked into a corner, and Trump has done an excellent job on that. I also might add, Trump has just signed an executive order to ban all weapons to the transvestite, I guess, or transgender in the gay community, whatever. And they're all screaming up in arms. And now they're fighting and screaming that they need their gun rights. Isn't that so funny? Is that so funny? Now we got the transgenders and the lefties that are gun owners. They're getting gun control put on them, and they're screaming now they want freedom of the Second Amendment. Trump is just a mastermind. He's just an absolute badass. I mean, when I heard that, I was rolling on the floor. Yeah, that's just so funny. He's got the left screaming that they want their gun rights. They're screaming up and down, this is an infringement, all this other stuff. Yeah. Well, you're sitting there, you're holding guns under your bed. You're screaming for gun control throughout the world or throughout wherever you are. And yet, when Trump puts out an executive order, okay, fine, you don't get your guns. Now they're screaming they want their Second Amendment, right? Talk about brilliant reverse psychology. Yes, reverse psychology, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, and he's playing with their brains, Now, also, when you're getting into these, the vibration and everything that is ascending right now for you, don't be upset and don't be scared. Start to celebrate this. And then maybe just say, God, I'm listening. I am listening. Okay? This is what you have to say when you're feeling this stressful tension on your body, because your body's trying to catch up to the Schumann resonance, okay? Your body's trying to catch up to that, and you're going through a lot of, basically you're being reprogrammed, okay? These are, if you get in the earaches, the getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning, this is basically God's telling you, right? You have been chosen. You're fatigued. You're trying to do things, but you're always tired and stuff like that. Okay. Now, and we're going to help you get through all that with some of the health tips that I do have here today, and to help cleanse out your body. There's lots of things that are we can do to help ourselves before we get into the med beds, and the med beds are coming. The med beds are out right now. I mean, they've already pushed several thousand people through already, and they're already being pushed through. And those are the most traumatic of them all. Usually the little ones and our brave soldiers, military out there doing the things that they're doing. They're getting put through the med bed systems and getting, reprogrammed. And their bodies are getting, You're basically, you're rebuilding a new grid system right now. That's why all these symptoms are going on. You're building a new grid system, and it's building a new system on the astral plane that's out there. So all this stuff here is like we're going from this old, heavy, carbon-based body to a crystalline body. And a lot of old, matter is being released and then being replaced by new crystalline matter. Yeah. Now, I want to clarify something about the churches and the banks and Jesus Christ, okay? I want to make sure that Jesus Christ is, the only way through to God in some ways is through Jesus Christ. We have to be connected to our source. And, I am a firm believer that Jesus Christ at one time did walk this earth. I am totally convinced. But he also, he was never here at that time to build churches, okay? That was all done by man. He was never here to build banks either. Remember what he went into the temples of the money changers, and he took out his staff and he started beating them with his staff, saying, this is sacrilege, and you are parasiting off the common man to make your money. And he's never been for the banks. He's never been for the churches either. He says God is within you. He's always said that. So I just want to make that, get that very, very clear. I'm not saying, but I'm not saying what I said yesterday, by not, being a part of, Jesus Christ's world. What I am saying is that the churches and everything and the banks and all this stuff that we're seeing right now in the matrix right now is not what he never consented on any of this. This is all stuff that has been taken over from the cabal, and the cabal have been the ones to, to make the matrix and live in the world that we live in right now, which is basically under slavery. Everything about this is slavery. And that's why every bank on the planet is going to come down. We're going to see the Bank of America come down. We're going to see the, give me a second here. Give me a second. There's so much, I got so much writing here, I get confused here on what's, we're going to see the Goldman Sachs come down. We're going to see the Bank of America come down. Capital One is on its way out. Citibank and all of them, including all the ones that are up in Canada, because they're all tied to the main banking system. Depends. Some banks are smaller, some banks are bigger. They're all tied together. Even the credit unions are tied together. Okay, they're all going to come down. Everything. There's going to be a crash in the stock market like nobody's ever seen. So that's why I'm saying get your money out of the stock markets, out of the IRAs, the 401ks. I mean, they're saying, well, maybe it's safe, maybe it's not. But how can it be? How can it be safe? The IRAs, the RRSPs, and the 401ks. How can any of that stuff be safe when you've had to buy it through the banks and the banks are disappearing? Everything's going to fall. Everything. This is here because God's got a new plan for us. God is bringing. He's shutting the whole matrix down. Everything is collapsing. This is not I mean, of course, we're having a lot of help from the Global Alliance, but they are, Christ conscious, individuals out there as well. That's our, that's God's army that's out there that's doing the things that they're doing right now. And they're doing it very, very covertly. They're not going to advertise what they're going to do. So it's all going to come down. Stock market crash. They will never regain the power again. They're never going to regain it again. So whatever is in store, as what we are witnessing right now out there in this world, okay, the matrix as we call it, will disappear forever and ever. And we're the ones that have been chosen to move ourselves into the new world, okay? And this is the separation. This is the whole paradigm of what's going on right now. We're the ones that are going to be, we're the messengers that are going to be sending the message in the golden age. Yes, we lived through it. And we all should get trophies. We should all have huge plaques put on the walls of the house or at the as soon as we walk in that front door, and have a plaque there saying that, survival of achievement. I lived through the dark years. I lived through it. I witnessed it. I witnessed the transformation through the dark years. Right? No matter how much the cabal spent, which was billions and billions and billions of dollars, advertising to try to convince us to take their Kool-Aid, we never followed their advice. Yes, we're very, very close, Maria, to close. This crash is going to be, and like I said, I have been through several recessions, or if you want to call it depressions. The first one was in 1980. That was a bad one. But, this one here, you could take all the crashes right going back through 1929 crash and everything, compile them all together. This whole system, it's going to be nothing. It's going to be apocalyptic. Okay? Because everything's going to shut down. If you do not have cash in your pocket. Okay? That's why I'm saying, what's her name? Green, she's the prolific, she's a very, very good speaker. She has been saying the same thing. All the money guys are saying the same thing. Get your money out of the banks, because the banks will not be there to give you cash when the time is that you need it, right? If you're struggling with allergies and stuff like that, then, like it says, it's also another form of parasites that are affecting you. Everything, 99% of this stuff is all to do with parasites. Stock market's going to crash, and they're never going to have the power again. Right now, the genie is out of the bottle, okay? You can't put the genie back in. There's no way, no turning this thing around. The cabal is dead. And all its tentacles have been severed. They have no control anymore. They just do not have any more control. And that's what we're witnessing right now. They still are trying to burn out certain areas. And because they have control, and the reason why they have control, and I'm going to tell you with this certain incident that happened in Spokane by burning all the homes, whoever that power station or, power supplier is there, all those homes had smart meters put in at one time. And all they had to do is flick a switch and ignite them all. That's what happened. Yes, they did some bush fires or whatever, but that wasn't what took out so many homes. I believe it had to be something else. It was a controlled demolition. Apparently, from what I hear, there was people or a guy or somebody that was going door to door asking to buy the property before that happened. And of course, people were saying, no, we're happy, we're good. That's what I hear, what was going on. They wanted that property. And it's the same MO as what happened in the Palisades in LA. They had smart meters there, and they just had to flick them on. The smart meters, they get revved up to a certain heat, and they start a fire. That's all they had to do. That's why they put the smart meters in there, so they can have more control over you. Not to mention all the dangerous frequency that was coming off those things. Right? So, like it says, they do not have any more power for the direct energies. They don't have any more, maybe what they're doing is still, in some small sort of way, filling up these airplanes with whatever detergent that they're doing, trying to do whatever they're doing, causing as much chaos as they possibly can. But they have very, very low frequency followers or people that have been brainwashed, programming them to say, here's some money here. We're going to drop you off here. Go out there and start some fires. That's all they have left. And that's why we're seeing the burning going on. It's not like they have some kind of organizational armies that have this foothold on humanity. They don't have it anymore. No, they don't. Yeah. Okay. So your DNA right now is being upgraded. That's what you're going through, all these strange feelings and, headaches, stomach aches, dizziness, earaches, pain in the shoulders and the necks. Sure, it'd be nice to go out there and get a nice massage. I'm waiting for that when I get to the Philippines. You can get a beautiful, nice, me and my woman go out there, we get body massage, we go in the same room, and of course they give us a full body massage, which is great. And they really work your bodies over, and you feel great. And I think that to two of them, it's less than $20. Yeah, for that, and you come out feeling great, and they even throw you a nice cup of lemongrass tea, and out the door you go after an hour. And I think it's say around 1,000 pesos, which is only like $24 for two. That's what I can't, that's another beautiful thing about what I get in the Philippines. Now, banks are trying to stop. Everybody, this is kind of a warning. Do not go to the banks to try to buy silver or gold or any type of metals right now. They're trying to do everything to say, well, we're not selling it. We don't, and you're not buying, you can't buy it through here. So what you have to do if you're buying silver and gold and doing whatever, you have to go to the metals exchange places. Okay, that'll be in any city. Now you can phone if you do your searching on whatever you're searching on, and just make sure that they can if you order it through the metals exchange that you will you can make your order because you're going to be able to phone the place. You'll talk to a representative there, and they'll, you can go to their website and pick out what you want to, what you want to buy. And I would recommend that you buy all the silver rounds. Okay. And then of course, ask them what's on sale. Is there anything that's on sale right now? And then you could take as long as you want. Okay. To make that order up. Okay. And, make your order, and, they'll say, that's great. We just need your name and information, and then plus your email. You give them your email, and then, of course, they'll send you a bill in your email. And then, of course, you take that bill, because they'll send you the invoice in your email. Then you take that invoice in your phone, take it down to the bank, and you pay for it through the bank. Don't use PayPal because it'll cost you more. Don't use anything like that. Just take it to the bank and pay for it through your account. And then, of course, then you'll get a receipt knowing that you had paid for it. And then you take a picture of that and you email that back to the Metals Exchange Center. And they'll say, great, it's already been paid for. As soon as we receive payment through the bank, then it'll be shipped out to your proper address. It's really that simple. And that's how I did 90% of all my metals purchase. There's only a few places such as Vancouver or whatever, but you could do this anywhere in the States, or, they have metal exchange places in Europe, metals exchange places in Asia, all kinds of places. And that's the easiest way to do it. And then that way you've got a paper trail. And don't worry about them not giving you the goods, because they're very reputable. All the metals exchange places are very reputable, and they have to give you based on what's happening. Now, the last I looked, silver was now running at about close to $65 an ounce. It's jumped $7, $8 since the weekend. So there's a lot of activity going on right now. And of course, a lot of people, they're not going to get wind of this. They're maybe starting to look at it. But usually when it starts climbing like that, everybody wants to jump in and start buying. And what we should have done, we've had 5 months to get ourselves together, to put money together to do whatever buying you were going to buy. And you have had 5 months of great opportunity to buy the metals. Even gold was way down under 4,000. Now it's like 43, 44. It's climbed $400 in the last week or so. The banks are part of the matrix. Of course they are, yes. And they want to hoard all the gold and silver. That's what they're doing. They don't want to sell it to you. And of course, if they do sell it to you, they're way overpriced. Their premiums are out to lunch. I'd be making all kinds of money if I sold it at bank premiums. But but they're that's who they are. They're thieves. And you shouldn't, the only thing that you should be doing with the banks right now is just paying your bills, if you want to pay bills. That's your option. The reason why I like Idaho and Montana are because they're full of like-minded conservatives. When you walk into a gun shop, they got their guns on the racks, just like they did in the old days in the armies, and in the days of the cavalry. All the guns are all lined up on the floor, and they're all with their butts on the floor, and they're all lined up in a row. They're all basically been secured. But if you want to pick it up and have a look at it, feel it, whatever, it's there for your feeling, and that's what a way to sell. I'm just I was very, very impressed on how they were able to sell their toys. Yeah.